Hello everybody, I'm Gamester522 and welcome to Resident Evil Remake. Now, the Resident Evil series is a game series I have been wanting to record for years because I love the Resident Evil games. And I managed to practice enough and do good enough for this current video. Now, this video is really long. I'm post-commentating this because I couldn't really talk and record at the same time. But definitely expect a bunch of jump cuts in this. At least I haven't watched this yet, rewatched it to do this, but I'm doing it now just to see when it'll happen, and I'll, Now, we're playing this game. We're not playing on very easy, we're not playing on easy, we're not playing on normal, we're not playing on hard, we are playing on real survival.
Resident Evil.
And the first person we're going to be playing is Chris. Now, for those of you who don't know what real survival is, it's basically hard mode, but there's no auto-aiming, and item boxes are not linked. But now, we have an opening cutscene.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone, situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Found it yet?
No, not yet, Brad. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. The Bravo Team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact.
Look, Chris.
Bravo Team's helicopter was a derelict. Save for the remaining body of Kevin. We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare.
Hey! Brad! Where the hell's he going?
Chris, this way!
Damn it! Make for that mansion!
Enter the survival horror. The game now officially begins.
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Is everyone all right?
Barry. Where's Barry?
He's...
No. What was that?
I'll go and check it out.
All right. Jill and I will stay and secure this area.
Chris? Take care.
Yeah.
Alright, now that the games begin, I have a lot I need to explain. So, this run of the game is getting the best possible rank, which is beating the game in under 3 hours. We're doing it on Real Survival, so that's the highest difficulty in terms of trying to do it like that. And also, I will not be saving throughout the entire game. So that was a world-famous zombie turn. I don't know if I should really act like I don't know what's going on post-commentating because this game is so dated. Which, by the way, I'm playing this on my PS4. This is the remake of Resident Evil 1. And it's really fucking good.
Wesker? Jill? Where did they go?
Alright, so here we pick up the handgun, our first gun, and the game begins. So, I'm basically going to run through my how I go through this game, as well as like tricks to help other people. The first thing you'll notice is that I'm moving very specifically. You see, Resident Evil's famous for something called tank controls, where whenever you hold forward, you move. Whenever you hold up, you move forward, and if you press left or right, you turn left or right, and pressing back, you walk backwards. Now, I'm playing with something added to this game called alternate controls, where the direction the control stick is where is the direction I'm moving. Which, with camera changes in this game, you'll kind of notice that I might run into a few weird stops every now and then. Okay, first room. I stopped right here at the corner so the camera changes. That way I can just run around that corner past that guy. We want to pick up this golden arrow. Now, the game tells us to examine stuff, but we'll do that later. We want to pick up this handgun magazine for later. And I want to bait that guy so I can run past him. Because the way zombies work is that if they walk towards you with their arms like out, you want to try and run towards them to make them lunge their arms forward and then immediately go away from them. And then when they lunge forward and put their arms down, you can just run, and they miss you, you can just run past them without worry of retaliation. Basically, I'm just going to sum it down to as juking zombies, rather. So yeah, once we got that arrow, we need to come to this back graveyard area here. Now, we want to equip the handgun, and we want to kill the 2 zombies in this room. Now, as I've stated earlier, in real survival difficulty, there's no auto-aim, so you kind of have to aim yourself. When a zombie's on the ground, always use your knife to check if they're dead. But then again, we're not going to be using the knife a whole lot. Now, you can reload your weapons by combining the ammo with the weapon itself in the menu screen. Alright. So that's done. Also, there's also some shotgun shells back here. We're going to pick these up for later. Okay. And now, if we examine this golden arrow, we get an arrowhead. If we use the arrowhead here, it opens up a pathway. Now, a little thing I'm doing right here, basically I'm holding forward and I'm mashing the run button. This is called stair skating. Basically, if you constantly stop and boot up a run when you're moving on stairs, you move faster. Now we're going to examine the back of this book, and we get the sword key, which is used to open doors with a sword emblem on them. Okay, another thing I want to explain. The handgun has a small chance of critical killing zombies, as you saw earlier, such as blowing their head off. I got really lucky with that. Okay, so now that we have that, we got the sword key, so now we want to go ahead and start unlocking doors. So we want to head up here, and then we want to go ahead and unlock this door, and then we want to come back down to the first floor. And we want to go into this double door on the east side of the mansion. We want to come over here, unlock this door, and go inside of it. Alright. Now there's this little thing of furniture here. We want to push it forward. And we want to pick up this. This is a dagger. This game has something called self-defense items. Basically, if a zombie or some kind of monster grabs you from the front, you use these self-defense items to push them away by using it, and you take no damage in return. Now, if a zombie catches you and you stab them in the head, you have to decapitate their head, and you can get the dagger back. Okay, so now that we got that dagger, we're not going to be going into that hallway for the rest of the run. So next up, we're going to head back into the hallway where we saw the very first zombie. Want to get him in my camera's range, and then just equip my handgun and just try to kill him. Okay, I stood there to make sure he was dead. If a zombie has a pool of blood come out from underneath them when they're on the floor, that tells you that they're dead. Okay, if we come to this end of the hallway that he was guarding, come down these stairs, we unlock this door with the sword key. Now, I'm coming in here to pick up this old key, because there are 4 old keys for Chris, and old keys unlock 4 doors. Also, we have a little zombie visitor here. We want to go down this way, onto this side of this table, and then we want to stand right here, and then it'll cause that zombie that's on the ground in front of us to turn right. That way we can safely just maneuver past him and just get out of the room. Now we want to head back upstairs. Now, if memory serves, there's only 1 door left that requires the sword key. And that's going to be up on the 2nd floor. Basically right above us in the room that we're in right now. So now we're just making our way there. Now, I will say one thing, this routing that I'm doing is not like 100% optimized. But I will tell you, I'm still proud of it. I'm still proud of how this turned out. Just want to head along this way and open up this second door right here. Since we're done with the key, we discard it, and that clears up an inventory space. Now, on Real Survival, inventory management is key to doing this. I bait that guy, run past him, and we want to head down the stairs right here. But first, I come over here and unlock this door. I don't really need to do that yet. Okay. That guy almost puked on me. Zombies will never try grabbing you if you're on stairs. And if they're on stairs at the same time. We want to use the old key to unlock this door right here. We come inside this room. And we pick up the flash grenade right here. And we pick up the broken shotgun. Now, flash grenades are basically the second defensive item for Chris. Flash grenades, basically, if a zombie or something grabs you in the front, you stick the flash grenade in their mouth, and then their heads explode. And that decapitates them. Here I'm trying to bait this guy. There we go. Now that I have the broken shotgun, we're going to head back to the east side of the mansion. But on our way back, this zombie will be right here. So we're going to take this time to come around the other way. And we're going to push this statue right here. We're going to push it about 3.5 times. And then we just want to push it off the edge. Now we want to go across the way here and go into this door that we unlocked earlier. Now we need to go all the way through this hallway. That guy was being nice. That zombie is just running up against the wall. I've never seen this hallway behave like this, where the zombies were just in, like, stupid positions and I can just run past them. Now, when we come into this room right here, we pick up this... First, I pick up the handgun ammo. And then I'm going to pick up the dog whistle. Now, the dog whistle comes with a memo, and the memo tells us where to use the dog whistle at. I'm going to reload my handgun with that handgun ammo. Alright, now we're in this room. We want to come downstairs. And we want to come into this room right here. This is the first safe room of the game. Now, I try to grab this old key, and then I realize, oh yeah, I have no room. So, basically, I put up the handgun ammo, the knife, and I pick up the old key. Because I need an old key going through here. Now, on real survival difficulty, you can go back and forth between this door as many times as you want. If you're playing on, like, the normal game, outside of real survival, or even invisible enemy mode as far as I know, then if you go through that door a certain number of times, you're never able to go back through it because the doorknob falls off. But on real survival, that is not an issue, and so I'm going to take advantage of that. So we want to come into this room here. Now, this room I was just in was actually a crusher room. So, the reason being this is a crusher room is because there's something that's want to keep safeguarded in here, and that's the shotgun. We pick up the shotgun, but then we want to put the broken shotgun back. That way we can get out. We pulled an Indiana Jones and got ourselves something really nice as a result. Now, as far as I know, I do not think I actually used the shotgun throughout this entire run of the game. But I wanted to show that off just so people could see how to get it. Now, we want to come into this room right here. Because we want to do everything in, like, this area That way we don't have to come back to it ever again. That's hence why I went and got the shotgun first. Now we want to pull the plug out of this tub. Now we want to run it over to the tub and pick up a second old key. Now we're going to open this door right here, which requires an old key. And coming through here, it takes us outside. And we want to pick up this bag right here. Chemical to use on plants. If you examine it, the game tells you that it's herbicide. And so now we just want to go back the way we came. We're not going to be coming back over here through this area again. Went through it, don't have to worry about it again. Coming back through this way. Now, I was being an idiot here. The freaking camera change kind of fucked me over with the alt controls. Okay. Now, here I realize I'm full on inventory room. So that's why I'm going to put the shotgun shells up. But here I'm just deciding. Because I'm realizing, what do I not need? I say I don't need shotgun shells right now. They're not really a priority to keep at this moment. Oh yeah, that's another thing I needed to mention. Whenever you use item boxes, normally all of the item boxes are just like linked together. Now, I went to this door thinking I could go in it, but I was completely wrong. Because I need the armor key to go into that door. Because you use one of the old keys and find an old key in there. So we want to come back through this hallway. And since now that we have the dog whistle, we need to head back to the west side of the mansion. Because we need to use that dog whistle. I was being an idiot, thinking I could go through that door, but it's locked from the other side. I never used that door at all throughout this run. Now I go this way because I know the zombie's still over on that end. Okay, as I was saying. Okay, item boxes normally are linked together. So if you put an item in one item box, it'll be there in another item box somewhere else. Use an old key to unlock this door. But on Real Survival, item boxes are not linked. So that means if you put something in an item box, it's going to be in that specific item box. Okay, now I'm positioning myself here. I want to equip my handgun and use the dog whistle. I shoot at the dogs. This dog actually jumped on me, so I knifed him. If you knife a dog, they die instantly. Now, when this dog dies, we pick up the collar, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave, not to deal with the other dog. If you do manage to take some damage and kill both the dogs, use that plot of herbs right there to fully heal yourself. That bait was nice. Now that we have the collar, we want to go into this door that I unlocked from the other side earlier. Or from this, I unlocked the door from this side. It takes us back into this room. We come this way. I'm actually going to grab this herb and use it because I know that zombie bit me earlier. Now we want to examine the collar. We press a switch and it drops a coin. Now if we examine the back of the coin, it changes into the imitation of a key. Now, by entering this door, we've triggered Crimson Heads to spawn in the mansion. Now, Crimson Heads are basically more powerful zombies that move faster and deal more damage. They basically only spawn if you don't decapitate or burn a zombie after you kill them. Now, we're going to take the key out of here. The armor key. And it looks like we're going to be trapped. But that's why we use the imitation of a key. That way we can take the key and be safe. Continue exploring the mansion, good sir. Now, I did not know the spikes could still hurt me like that. So I was kind of scared, thinking that that would have killed me or something, but I guess the paranoia was for no reason. Now, here I'm thinking where I need to be going right now. Now, here's something I do to save myself a headache. Basically, I go back and take this door right here. Make sure you're fast going to that door. That way that Crimson Head doesn't catch you. Because that guy is a bitch. Take my word for it. Now, we want to head back down here. And we want to go to the door that's at the end of the hallway over here. And this is actually an armor door. Now, we want to come over this way and enter this room right here. Now, last I recall, this room does not go good for me. Basically, we want to examine this wardrobe right here. It opens up, revealing a zombie. I managed to bait him, and we need to grab this old key that's behind him. But there's another zombie in here. Luckily, I had myself a knife, so I just took advantage of that and left. But then again, there goes a dagger. Okay, now that we got that old key, we want to head this way. We unlock the door from this side, and this door takes us back to the hallway where we saw the first zombie. I come over here and unlock this door. Now, there are 4 more doors to unlock with the armor key. But the thing is, though, I don't remember what the last door was until the last second. So that kind of bones me a little bit. Because I can't remember it. Basically, that door that's on the right, once you come up here, that's an armor key door. I end up unlocking that earlier, but go ahead and do that now. That way you get rid of this key sooner. So the first thing I do is I come over here, I bait this guy to unlock this door, run back this way, and then I unlock this door. And we're going to go in here. And when we come into this room, we get a cutscene.
Chris Redfield, Alpha Team. We're here to rescue you. Richard, what the hell happened to you? Chris, this place... Get your team out of here. Demons everywhere.
Don't talk. He seems to have been bitten by a poisonous snake, but the size of the bite mark is huge.
It's not just any ordinary snake. Take my word for it.
He needs serum. I left it in another room.
I'll go get it.
Please hurry.
Hold on. I'll be back.
So we end up coming out of this room. And now we need to go get a serum for Richard. Now, we are going to save Richard because I need to. Now, you have 4 minutes in game time, not including door loads, to get a serum and bring it back to him. We're going to take this 4-minute time. We're going to take advantage of this 4-minute time span, and we're going to do some things. But then again, do not do any more than what I'm about to show you. Because if you do, then which has happened to me before, you run a very, very high risk of Richard dying. Just to be as fast as possible, I take the path where the zombie is, and I just juke him to get to the door I need to. There's another zombie. Juke him, which is nice. Now we want to head down the stairs, because the serum is actually in the room over there, but I skip it because I'm like, fuck. Yeah, so I end up fucking that up. So just go into this room right here. This is where the serum is. It's on the shelf right here. Now, we already have a quick way back to Richard on this lower level. There's a zombie right there. I run against the wall because I wasn't sure where he was. Luckily, you're fast enough to just get past him. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, but if you do not have a weapon equipped, you move faster. Anyway, we want to come into this door that's at the far end of this hall here. Now, there's a water tank here. We want to put the herbicide in it. And you find out that this pump works as sprinklers. We want to turn it red. That way the herbicide kills these plants that are in our way. Now here I don't remember what my health situation was, so I'm just going to take an herb right here, and I'm just going to use it. There are 5 herbs here. And then getting past this plant, we get a death mask. Now, in order to leave the mansion area, we need to find 4 death masks and place them in that underground grave that we went through in the back graveyard area. So now that we went ahead and grabbed that death mask, we want to head back to Richard as soon as possible. I think there might have been a bit of a jump cut there, but I think it was only just the door opening. So I guess that's a nice break. Another thing I want to mention about real survival, from what I've heard from Carcinogen, I mean, it was some of his videos that, like, I vaguely paid attention to it because I wanted to form my own strategies. But apparently on real survival, if you enter rooms with enemies, sometimes the enemies randomize positions, so keep that in mind.
Hope this is what you wanted.
Thank you. I'm gonna give you a shot now, Richard. Hang in there.
Here. Take it. It's a radio. Take care of yourself, Rebecca. Richard!
He's okay. He's just unconscious.
Rebecca, it's not safe here. Let's get Richard to a safer place.
Right. Richard's doing well, Chris. He should recover soon.
Good. Richard needs you now.
As soon as Richard gets better, we'll come after you.
Rebecca, you okay with a gun?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to continue my investigation.
Be careful. Okay?
Now, after curing Richard, it takes us back to this area where we got the serum. See, our next order of business is to get the other 3 death masks. We want to come this way. Always hug this wall right here, and you can just run past that zombie every time. Now, I'm pretty sure I remembered what was in my inventory right now, but I have just forgotten myself, personally. I'm just trying to remember, what am I doing right now? I come up here. Okay, yes, I still have the armor key. That's right. Now, I think oh, shit. Stick that guy with a flash. At least I don't have to worry about him later. Now, once a flash grenade gets put in a zombie's mouth, you don't have to wait for the explosion. You can just leave the room and he'll be gone. Okay, yeah, that's right. I was coming to use the rest of the armor key. Now, on this door right here, we want to use the old key I have, because we need 2 inventory slots for this room. There's a small little puzzle in here. Basically, we want to come to this picture frame right here and pick up the lure of a bee. There's a switch underneath this. We don't need to press it yet. And then there's a fishing hook right here. And then we want to combine the lure of a bee with a fish hook to get the bee lure. We check here and we get the bee specimen. Assorted fishing lure, so we put the bee lure right there. And we put the bee specimen right here. And then we push a button. And then the bee comes alive. Alright. Now we want to come over here and grab the wind crest. This is very important for later. Now we want to come into this door that's right across from here. And if we do, we come in here and get an old key. See, that's why I went ahead and used the old key I had first. Otherwise, I would not have 2 inventory spaces. Because I think I would... No. I wasn't supposed to have the armor key used yet. This is all how it's supposed to look right now. In terms of my inventory, anyway. Now, once you save Richard and come back to this safe room here, there's actually handgun ammo and a first aid spray on the ground that Rebecca left. Now we're going to put the wind crest up. And I'm going to take the handgun magazine, and I'm going to combine it with the handgun to have a full handgun clip. Because I'm actually going to use the handgun against the first boss of the game. I'm putting the shotgun up because I'm not going to be using it against the first boss. And then 2 inventory slots is good enough. So now we want to go through this door. And we want to come to this door right here. Which is an armor door. Now, normally this is where you would use up the armor key and throw it away. So now we have a bit of a puzzle in this room involving the stained glass. The first one we see that's yellow, we want to push the button on this side. And on these next 2, you just want to push them on this side. Make this one green, and make the middle one purple. And then we check this painting over here, check this picture over here, hit the switch, and we have a passage. And we also have the second death mask. And then we have a door right here that requires an old key. We are now done with old keys. We've unlocked all the old key doors. Now, for the sake of item management, and so I don't lose my goddamn mind, I'm coming down here right now to put in the 2 masks that I have on hand. This one has eyes missing, so it goes in the first one. This one has a mouth missing, so it goes on the far right one. See, now we only need 2 more death masks. Masks. That sounded weird. Stair skate our way up. Go a little bit faster. Now we want to go this way because I realized where I screwed up. Because I realized, like, I should have had the armor key used by now, and I was like, oh, that's right. It's for this door over here that I never go in. Well, you can go in here and get a dagger and then just come right back out. But I choose not to do that because I don't really need to. So now we come back in this place. With 2 masks put up and the armor key gone, we have quite a few inventory slots. Getting bit there, that makes me realize that I have no more self-defense items, but that's okay because when we come back into this room where Richard and Rebecca were, there are 2 green herbs. I'm going to take these. And I am going to combine them. I don't remember when I use it though. But anyway, if you want to keep your running speed at its best, then you want to avoid being in orange caution. Bait that guy, go past him, go in this door. So I might as well go ahead and explain the health in this game. There are 4 stages of your life. There's fine, yellow caution, orange caution, and danger. You don't get a speed drop until you hit orange caution. I bait that guy, and you want to do that to get the musical store. I kind of fuck up, though, and I let him turn around and bite me. See, I'm in orange caution, so I use the double green herb mix in order to get myself back up to fine so I can get back to full running speed. Now, your health actually does have a specific number, but the game does not tell you that, which I think is genius. The only thing you have to go off of are just 4 stages. That's it. Okay, so now that I have that musical score, we want to go ahead and come over here and go into these double doors we unlocked earlier. Now, when we come into this room, we have a bit of a puzzle. We basically need to push all 4 of these armors into place. Now, there's a specific way you have to do it, though. You want to push the top right one, and then you want to push the bottom left one, and then you want to push the bottom right one, which in turn also pushes back the top left one. And then we want to push the button in the center. And voila. We check this and we get our first jewelry box. So next, order of business. Now that we have the musical score, we need to head back to the hallway where the first zombie was. Now, I kind of went too far away to try after I baited that guy, because the camera angle just kind of made it a little difficult for me to see, like, gauge my distance between me and him. Now, on our way to the first zombie hallway, we're actually going to pick up this item that we push down from the balcony above us, which is a blue gemstone. And we also want to grab this emblem that's above this fireplace. Now we want to head up here to this door that we unlocked with the armor key earlier, our first time through. And coming in here, we want to come all the way here to the right, and we want to push this shelf out of the way. And behind it is another musical score, but this is actually the casing for it, the mount. We combine the musical score with the mount, and we just get a full musical score. Now, for the jewelry box, you want to examine the front and the back. It opens up, and we get another death mask. Now, come in front of the piano and use the musical score.
It's me, Chris.
Rebecca.
That sounded like Moonlight Sonata.
Can you play? Oh, what was that?
My interpretation is off a little. Let me practice for a while.
Sure. But don't get too carried away.
Oh, I won't.
We're going to let Rebecca practice because we have some things we need to take care of. Involving our inventory, particularly. Now, we want to come to this door that's right here. That's on the same side of the hallway as the piano room. Run past this guy, and we want to go into this small little hallway turn right here and go into this room. Now, there's a statue in here of a tiger. We want to use the blue gem. And by doing so, we got ourselves some shotgun shells. Now, I'm basically saving up my shotgun shells for later on, because when you're playing real survival, ammo is a bit of a hard find. So I'm basically saving it up for a really, really late game. Now, in order for Rebecca to finish practicing the piano, you have to go all the way back to the main hall. And then once you go all the way into the main hall, you can just turn back around and go back to the piano room, and then she'll be done. Which, by the way, I'm sure some of you, like one person in particular who's used to playing these games with tank controls, the alt controls make the game so much faster. And it's so much better paced. Well, for me at least. So now we want to head back to the piano room.
Chris! Chris! I think I got it!
Practice makes perfect.
What's this?
Now, after that's done, this wall opens up here, and we pick up this gold emblem. But the wall closes behind us, so we pull an Indiana Jones to get ourselves out by placing the emblem from the dining hall in here in place of where the gold emblem was. And so now where to put this gold emblem. That's simple. Should probably put it in where we got the first emblem from, in the dining hall, and see what happens. Just want to use the gold emblem here. And this grandfather clock opens up for us. So let's check it out. Now, the solution for this one is on the picture that's to the left of it. Basically, we want to have the long hand pointing at 12, the helmet, and we want to have the little hand pointing at 6, the armor. And upon doing so correctly, the clock moves out of the way, and we have the shield key. Now, there's only one door in this entire mansion that requires the shield key. And that's a room, and that's the other room that's past where we found Rebecca and Richard. Just right up here. Gotta get past this guy every time, which is kind of annoying. I have no idea how I pulled that dodge off. So I was pressing buttons freaking out, thinking that he'd grab me, but he didn't. So lucky me, I guess. Now we're coming up to a bit of a reset point if you're trying to do this game quickly. So that's a bit of a heads up. So now we get rid of the shield key, clears up another inventory space, but then again we don't really need it. This is Yawn. It's a giant snake. So we want to go ahead and head straight this way. We want to grab the mask, and we want to get the fuck out. Whatever you do, do not let Yawn bite you. If you let Yawn bite you, then there's a cutscene that plays where Chris is poisoned, and then you play as Rebecca, and you have to go all the way back where you got the serum for Richard, and bring it back here. It's a huge time waster if you manage to let Yawn bite you. But usually if you're just straightforward and quick, then you should be just fine. Just never line yourself up with Yawn's head. And also, when Yawn strikes, he has a wide attack radius, so also keep that in mind. So we're coming this way because this is where I can manage my inventory for the upcoming boss fight. Thinking about it, I don't think I needed to. Oh wait, no. I'm coming back here not only to do to plan out my strategy and do management, but I'm also coming this way to pick up healing. I'm gonna pick up this red herb here. And then I come this way to get a green herb. And then I realize, ah, shit, I didn't see that guy there. So I take this green herb. And I'm going to combine it with this red herb. And that creates a full heal. I just run past that guy because he ain't no thing. I feel like I didn't need to do that, but I thought I could get myself an extra thing of healing, but that guy bit me, so it just ended up being a waste of time in the end. But then again, it wasn't that much of a time loss, so I'm just gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna put the shotgun shells up with the rest of the shotgun shells. I'm taking the handgun clips for safety reasons. And then I'm also going to take the first aid spray for safety as well. Now we want to head back to the underground grave that's in the back graveyard area of the mansion. Which from here is really easy to get to. Just go out through this door. There's also a zombie in here too. Juke him. And then come into this door right here, and this takes us back to that stained glass hallway, and which in turn leads to the back graveyard area. I know my names aren't like the best to describe these places, but I'm trying my best, okay? I'm proud of this run, and I'm sorry if like I can't keep it 100% consistent. Stair skate our way down. Alright. This one has all its features missing, so we want to use that mask, and then we can put the last mask in the last spot, but the first thing I'm going to do is equip my handgun first. So this coffin fell, so let's go check it out. And now we're trapped. So now we get to fight Elder Crimson Head. Basically, the way he works is you basically want to try and get him in a circle loop. You want to make him either swing or lunge. And you basically just want to run the opposite direction, like run like perpendicular to him, turn around, and then just fire. Another thing you could do is that if you get unlucky enough to let him grab you, you can just, put a flashbang in his mouth and he'll just die. But yeah, he's dead. And so now, we want to pick up this stone and metal object. Now, sadly, we're not going to be using the handgun for the rest of the game. So, bye-bye handgun. So we want to head back this way, where the item box was, because now we're about to leave the mansion area, and there's some things that we have to take with us. Namely, the shotgun ammo, and the wind crest. I have no idea why that zombie did not react to me just literally touching his arm. I have no idea what happened there. That guy bites me. Sadly. I use the first aid spray because I'm not going to need it later. And plus it's taking up space. So grab the wind crest, the shotgun, and the shotgun shells, along with the stone and metal object, and now we're leaving the mansion. Basically where we're heading is right this way. I managed to juke both zombies, so that was a lucky break. Now, I kind of messed up trying to put this in here, but the stone and metal object goes in this little indention right here, which in turn unlocks this door. And with that, we are now officially in Area 2. Pick up the shotgun shells. And then there's the first aid spray right there, but I'm not going to grab it until I come back, or unless I actually need it. And we're going to go down the small set of steps and come this way. There's a rooster thing here, We want to stop it on west, the bottom right.
Respond. Wesker? Monster chains. Tree. Not says. Wave. Woods outside the man.
Alright, moving on. There's another one right here. We want this one to be on north. Now I fuck it up and make it go west and waste time because I suck at this game. So we're gonna wait until it slows down and I can hit it. Like so. Beautiful. That unlocks the door, by the way, so we can keep going. Alright, so now we're in the graveyard. The main graveyard, as I'll call it. I'm using tank controls to walk around here. That way I don't get the birds angry. And we're going to put the wind crest into the right grave right here. And we have 3 crests that we pick up as a result. We're going to pick all of these up. The moon crest, the star crest, and the sun crest. They're supposed to go in these slots here, but they won't fit. So we have to turn all of these crests around and push the buttons on the back of each one of them. And then after we do that, then we can use them. And for our efforts, we get the Magnum. Now, the Magnum's going to be used for the next upcoming boss fight. The Magnum's only going to get 2 uses throughout the entire game. This upcoming boss and the final boss. So we're almost at the end of this little side area here. So we want to walk along this long path. Oh, some stairs right here. And now we're at some kind of shed that's just out in the middle of nowhere. To think this place wasn't dangerous enough, and there's just a fucking shed out here. There's a map of the outside area if you want to grab it. But if we come this way, there is a crank. So now we need to head back to the beginning area. But so for Lisa Trevor, you want to take a few steps forward, and then when she swings her arms, you just want to step backwards. Use tank controls to make it easier. But after she tries swinging at you, wait until she's completely done, because for some reason her her frames of attack last a little bit longer after she's done. So that's why I took that hit there. To dodge this zombie, just run around the tree that's behind him. It works every time. So yeah, I can never get that Lisa dodge correctly. You can't just run past her either, because she'll just like hit you that way too. Lisa does damage, so just keep that in mind. Okay, make our way back up here. Now, whenever I stair skate, I usually just keep flicking the control stick I use to move in the direction that I'm walking, going up and down stairs. Like, I constantly keep flicking it, like, to just, like, go through them faster. So now that we have the crank, we want to head through these double doors at the beginning here.
This is Brad. Come in, Stars Alpha Team. Come in. Does anybody hear me?
This is Chris.
This is Brad. Stars Alpha Team. Bravo Team. It doesn't matter. Respond. I repeat, this is
Brad, this is Chris. Brad? Damn. Thing's broken.
Now, there's some dogs in this room. I just want to walk until I'm about, like, halfway through the room and then just run for it. Because dogs are, like, not that aggressive if you're just walking. So, that's why you just want to walk for a bit, and when you think you're going to be attacked, just gun it. Now, we got the crank to use right here. You hear the sound of a waterfall in the distance. Now that's something to keep in mind later. But for right now, there's nothing we can do about it. So we want to go across this pool. Climb down, then climb up the ladder. And just keep on moving. Now, there are birds here, but if you just flat out just go to this door over here, they won't be able to reach you. At least not that I've seen. If you just try breaking for the door, then they shouldn't catch you. Now, don't stop moving because there are snakes. Now we're in the residential area. And if we take this first door on our right here, this is a safe room. Now there is a flash grenade right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the magnum and the crank. Now, this is also where the game introduces blue herbs. Blue herbs are herbs that cure poison. Also, spooters. We have spooters now. We want to grab this red book here, and then I'm also grabbing this first aid box. You want to watch out for the spooters. Because, you know, they're spooters. Since now that we grab that, we want to go ahead and push this box right here. Like, probably like 3 times is like good enough. We just want to push it forward. That way we can climb on these boxes and go over these holes. Now, here I was thinking to myself, I realized that I'm not going to be using the shotgun anywhere, now that I think about it. I use that green and blue herb mixture there. Okay, yes, I just take the magnum. Alright, so I put the shotgun up, put the shells up, and I take the magnum. And then I use the herb mixture that came out of that first aid box. And so now in my inventory, I just have the magnum and the red book. because I need a lot of inventory space for this area. So we want to go through this hallway and enter this door that says 002. We want to enter the first door that's just right here on our right. And there's a key right here on this shelf. This is a residence key. And now a zombie comes through the door right here. I fucked this up because I'm an idiot. I let him bite me like an idiot. And then since he came into that room, I can actually just take time and do this. Basically, we want to push these bookcases out of the way for later. As you can see, there's a ladder leading down. Okay. So this key that we picked up actually goes to the door that's right across from the safe room. Again, climb the boxes. Because if you try running over the holes, you're going to get attacked. And I want to keep as much health as I can. We're done with the key, so we discard it. Now, if we come over here, there's actually a self-defense gun. We want to take this for later. There's also a suicide note. I'm putting it up here so you guys can read it, because this is kind of crazy. Yep, pretty fucked up. And now we want to come into the door that's right here, which is the bathroom of this place. And again, we want to just pull the plug in the tub and drain the water out. And inside, we get a control room key. That zombie will get up, but you can just be really quickly getting out the door and not have to worry about him. And now, we want to head back down. We want to head to the ladder that was going down in the other room, in room 002. Now, I put the self-defense gun up just to save up space, because I'm not going to use it until later. Climb over the boxes, like always. Alright, so we want to come back over here. And then we want to take the ladder going down. So now we're in some kind of underground place. This place looks weird. Crazy how a mansion area is holding a place like this. Now we want to push all of these giant boxes over here. And now for this last box, we just want to push it all the way up against the wall. That way we can push it into the pool of water here. Alright, and we're done. So now we can run across. Now there's an herb right here. I'm actually going to do this because I'm in yellow caution. I want to stay in fine for as long as I can.
Richard! Chris! Chris, stop! No! Richard.
Alright, so now we're in the shark room. Basically, just run along the outside. If you run along the outside, the sharks can't catch up to you and you won't get hurt. And the control room key is used here, and we get rid of it. So now we want to head down this ladder. And then we want to try and drain the water here, but...
Emergency, emergency. Unknown source of pressure detected. Locking all doors to achieve maximum safety.
Now we need to activate the bulkhead, but first we have to release the safety. And then we want to try and shut down the bulkhead. But
30% of pressure threshold.
Oil pressure lost. So now we want to come to the valves over here. Now, I never know what the solution is, but you have enough time to try all three of them. Number 2 was the answer for me there.
Activate emergency drainage system immediately.
And so now we want to release the safety again. And then shut the bulkhead again. And now we're good. So now we want to drain the water. The water has been completely drained. And so now we can go out this way. Alright. And right here we have a very, very important pickup. Magnum rounds. Okay, now we come into this room. Now, if you manage to save Richard, then you can get this, the assault shotgun. The assault shotgun. This is basically our main weapon throughout the entire game. So now we want to go past this giant shark, try and grab the key, but then the shark wakes up and knocks the key in the water. So, we're going to push this little box in here. And then we're going to flip the circuit breaker. And now the shark is dead. And since now the shark is dead, we can come over here and grab this, which is the gallery key in the residence area. Now heading back this way. This takes us to a ladder, which in turn takes us out. So now we want to head back to the residence area. Okay, now that we're back here, this first door right here is the gallery area. So we use the key, discard it. Now you want to be careful when you come in here. Try and be as fast as you can. Come over this way. And there's a dead person right here. Watch out for the bees. And he's holding an insecticide spray. So we want to run this way. And go back into this area. You kind of have to you kind of have to juke the bees. That way they don't get you. But if you're just going for it, then more than likely they're not going to tag you. If we come over here, we pick up a residence map. And then we're told there's a hole in the wall. The moment you gain movement, immediately use the insecticide spray. And as you can see in the other room we were just in, actually kills all the bees. Especially the bees that were coming out of that hive that's right there at the end of the hallway where the dead guy was. So now if we come over here to the where this hive was, we get another residence key. Now this residence key is used in this door right here. Discard it. Alright. And so if we come over here, there's a white book. We pull it out. It's a file. And so now we want to use the red book. And then we need to organize these books to make a picture. Swap the first one with the fourth one. The second one with the sixth one. And the third one with the seventh one. And you're good. And now we're coming up to our second boss fight. So this is Plant 42. This is the first fight we need for we use the Magnum for. Now you want to be careful standing over in that area I was just at. Now Plant 42 knocked me off because I'm an idiot. But to kill Plant 42, it takes 5 Magnum shots when its core is open. Now, after the third shot, there's a bit of a pause there. Fire 2 more. And that's it. Plant 42 is dead. I'm gonna reload the Magnum, unequipped it, and then we're gonna come down here. With Plant 42 dead, we can now go to the fireplace. It's in the back of this room. And we get ourselves the helmet key. Yes, the helmet key. I always go on that door knowing it won't open. So now it's time for us to head back to the mansion.
Oh, you scared me. You okay?
Yeah, it's dead. But Richard, he's gone.
I'm sorry.
It's my fault. I should have Watched out for him.
I found a pharmaceutical room. I think I can come up with something useful. I'll be there. I'm glad you're still okay.
Okay, so back to the mansion. Not much else to be said. Just gotta stop by the safe room and pick up some stuff.
Wesker?
Chris, you're alive.
My words exactly. Where's Jill? Thought you were with her.
Yeah, I know. We got separated.
I see. Anyway, we better find a way out of here before we turn into zombie food. Got any suggestions, Wesker?
We should get a better grip on the situation. There must be areas still to be explored in that other mansion. Chris, I want you to check them out one more time. I'll continue my investigation here.
Sure thing.
Okay. So now we have orders from the boss man. So we gotta go explore those other areas. Since Plant 42 is dead, we can just run across that hole. So now we need to stop by the item box and grab the necessary goods. So I want to take the crank, I want to take the self-defense gun, I want to put the magnum rounds up and take the shotgun shells. There's a blue herb there, if you need it. Okay. Back at it.
This is Brad. If you can't answer me, somehow give me a sign.
Chris to Brad. Can you hear me? Brad! Damn!
You do want to be careful coming back through here, though, because the birds have been replaced with dogs. Now, this part's really tricky. There are snakes. Basically, this corner turn, you want to, like, try to avoid that first snake to try and lunge at you, and then when you come across that other corner, there's going to be another snake trying to bite at you. Just run back to avoid the bite. And then that will trigger the other snake you just passed. So then just go back the other way. Like, turn around. And then you should be able to dodge it. I mean, it doesn't seem 100% consistent, though. But I can't think of any other way to get past that. This dog's, like, way behind me. So I can just run for it and not worry about getting attacked. Now, when we come back in here, Wesker left us a dagger and shotgun shells. Okay, so now it's time for the mansion round 2. But there aren't zombies in this place. There aren't really any zombies in most of these areas anymore. They've now been replaced by something else. They've been replaced with hunters. So we want to come back into this room where our main, this is like our main safe room area. Want to equip the self-defense gun because the self-defense gun kills hunters in one shot. So I'm using that on that hunter there to save ammo. Now there's going to be another hunter jumping down from here. 3 shotgun shells takes care of him. And now we want to come over to this safe room. And we want to drop off the empty self-defense gun and the crank and the magnum. This is basically where our shotgun shells have been saved up for, is for this point of the game. So, it's time to start unlocking some helmet doors. The first helmet door we're going to unlock is over this way, where I got this green herb. Like so. And then we have a bit of a puzzle in this room. Basically, push this statue in this direction. And by the time you enter this area right here, the walls will start to close in. But as long as you're pushing this statue, you cannot get crushed. Push it all the way up against the wall. And then we want to run back. Come this way. And there's a switch. We want to hit the switch, run back. And now we want to push this statue to the left. And then we have a door open up. And we're safe. There's a giant hole. We want to jump down it. There's a red book in here. Last Book, Volume 1. Examine this grave. It's basically George Trevor's diary. And then push a switch, and then it opens up a ladder heading down. Okay, we also got spooters here. Be careful and watch where they spit. There's shotgun shells at the end of this hallway right here. Watch out for the spooters. Now, I did not get poisoned, thankfully. I honestly didn't think that spider spitting like that would actually hit me, based at the angle I was at. There's a blue herb right there in case you do get poisoned. Pick up this dagger. Nah, I'm being an idiot. I put a flashbang in that guy's mouth. Now, if we come over here, there's a power supply. We want to activate it. Or switch it out. Now, whenever you use shotguns on a zombie, always, like, aim upwards. That way you have a chance of blowing off their head. Which, blowing off their head, the shotgun has a 6 out of 10 chance of blowing off their head. But the assault shotgun has a 7 out of 10 chance of blowing off their head. Now, as you can see, we're back in the kitchen. Now, we want to go over this way. And that power supply we changed out was for this elevator right here. So now we want to take this elevator up. Now, I end up fucking up here a lot. See, I end up being a dumbass. And fuck that guy up. And then I also fuck this guy up by getting too close to him. So I just basically wasted like 2 defense items. And they're both dead. I wasted some shells, but it's no big deal. I still have plenty. Now, to make up for my stupidity, there's at least 2 herbs here for me to use. We want to go into this door right here. Combine them, use them, because I need some space. And if we come into this room, there are shotgun shells, magnum rounds, a flash grenade, and a battery. Now, I'm not going to grab the magnum rounds in here because I do not need them. And plus, they are a waste of space. Believe it or not, this may sound insane, but not grabbing that clip of magnum ammo saves me like 15 to 20 minutes. I am not making that up. Because of the constant back and forth trips I have to make to keep it with me. Sure, it could make your life easier later on, but in the end, it's not really worth it. Blow off that zombie's head. I keep the shotgun out because there's still one more zombie in here. Now, I'm thinking here I could just run past the Crimson Head, but I turned back like an idiot. And then I decided, no, fuck it, I'm not fucking with him. So now we want to go into this room where we got the armor key. Because past it was a door. But this door required us to have the helmet key, which in turn we now have. And now we're coming up to our third boss fight. Equipped our shotgun. Now we get to actually fight Jan. First thing you want to do is you want to fire a shot at him, then run away and go down the ladder. And then you want to basically like be up in his face, so to speak, and just fire a shotgun and just fire shells at him. He bit me there. He didn't poison me, thank God. Now, he always likes to loop around this small area a lot. And now he's dead. Poor Snake. And that seems to have knocked over something on the other side of this wall here. So it took me 9 assault shotgun shells to take him out. Last book, volume 2. Now we need both of these last books in order to enter the final area of the game. So now with that in tow, we want to head back the way we came. These alt controls, just like juking my movement so hard from time to time. Here, I was thinking to myself in terms of, like, inventory, what I needed. So, I'm going to go ahead and do a puzzle in this room right here I'm just passing. But I don't have room for it, so I'm coming down here to the safe room right here to put up both last books in the item box. But first I'm going to go ahead and examine them. Last book volume 1 has the Eagle medal. Last book volume 2 has the Wolf medal. So I'm going to put these up. It's also a first aid spray. I'm going to use that in a second. Come back up the stairs. And go into this door right here. Now, what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and push these. these two dressers. There's also a dagger right here in the corner of the room. Gonna pick that up. Now that shining item right there is handgun magazine, but we're not using the handgun, so I don't see a point. We want to flip the switch off, and we want the bird that's turning right there in this room to not be directly facing both the yellow gemstone and the red gemstone on the opposite sides of the room. Otherwise, you can't pull them out. Okay then, now, since I have the yellow gemstone, if we try going through this way, we caused 2 hunters to break in through the windows. So now we want to head over here to where the tiger statue is. Use the yellow gemstone. And now we get the Mo disc. Now we need to head back to the mansion entrance. Run past that guy again. Poor guy just gets juked constantly. That first zombie is a crimson head now, so just quickly break for the door. Doubt he's gonna catch you, but still. Okay, so now we're back in the main hall. This door right here, we unlock. And now we are done with the helmet key. So now we want to come to the end of this room here. And now we're in a small room. I'm actually luring this zombie over here so I have more time to myself. I'm going to grab the dagger. I'm going to grab the herb. I'm going to use the herb. And I'm going to take this jewelry box. And now I'm going to leave. And now, we're going to be heading back to the area of our main safe room. Our main item box, I mean. So we're going to take the back way here, because it's a lot quicker to get to it. And safer, rather. Now I get here, we have some hunters we need to get past. Or just one, rather. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine the red gemstone with the jewelry box, and then we begin a rotating, like, piece together puzzle. Just basically follow the way I do it here. And then when you succeed, we get a brooch, examine the brooch, and we get an insignia key. Now I'm coming back into this other room here. And the insignia key is used for this door right here. And that's it.
Rebecca! Is she upstairs?
Alright. So we want to flip the light switch here. Check the drawer to the right. And then there are shotgun shells. And then we want to pick up the metal object. Looks familiar, right? And then we're also going to pick up the flash grenade. And now, we need to head to the room that's directly above us. Which is back through this door. Then we want to head upstairs. Well, first I do some item drop-offs. I drop off the Mo disc and the metal object. And I take the crank. And I keep the battery and my shotgun equipment. So we're going to go back this way, because Rebecca's actually in this room that's right over here. Though you guys are probably asking, why didn't you just use the door the moment you came up there? Well, that door's only one way. Alright, so now we want to kill this hunter. 3 shotgun shells. And we're good.
Rebecca,
Chris!
you okay?
I didn't mean to get you worried.
We can't stay here any longer. We have to get to the others and find a way out of here. You with me?
Yes.
Then I'll go ahead. Until then, Rebecca, you're on your own. Stay cool and use your better judgment. Got it?
I can handle myself.
Good luck.
Okay, now that that's done, it's time for us to head back to the outside area. Because we're done exploring the mansion now. Now I managed to dodge that hunter. Somehow. Mostly in these games, it's always better to dodge than fight. Not only do you conserve ammo, you conserve time. Okay. There's a first aid spray here. I'm taking this with me for safety. Want to head back through the double doors right here. Just want to head forward, back to this area. And then we want to go across the pool. Now, I don't know how to dodge the snakes here, so I do end up getting bit. And holding my hand on my waist, that tells me that I'm poisoned. So I have a speed cut right now. And I can't do anything about it until I run into a blue herb. So, coming down here, if we come over this way, there's an empty place for a battery, so we're going to put the battery in there. And now we can use this elevator. If you're quick enough, you won't get hit by that dog. So now that we can get to that area with that elevator, we want to come over here and we want to fill back up the water in this pool by lowering the dam. The sounds of a waterfall seem to have stopped. See, normally we couldn't get across if we did this, but since we placed the battery, we can use that elevator to get to the other side of this pool. Luckily, the dogs were being nice to me there. And so, since we blocked off the water, there's now not a waterfall here. We can actually go this way. Down the ladder we go. So now we're in the second to last area of the game, the underground. And now we want to go along the place and go into these doors. Go around this and head to this door that's up here. So we come to this way.
Enrico!
Don't come any closer, Chris.
What happened?
Double crosser.
Enrico, wait. Enrico!
Umbrella.
Enrico! Double crosser.
So now if we check Enrico, killed him with just one shot? Who could it be? Wait, he's holding something. And now we get another crank. Now, make sure you're fast going through here because a hunter spawns on that first turn. So now that I have this new crank, I'm going to call this one the red crank. That way people don't get confused. Now, this crank is different from the other one because, like, the shape of it at the end is an octagon rather than a square. Also, we want to run past those hunters. Because the thing about hunters is that if they see you, the first thing they're going to do is scream before they immediately come after you and try attacking you. So you kind of want to use that to your advantage. And they more focus, like, on sight rather than sound to a degree. Now, I put the green crank up because we're not going to be using it anymore. Now, there is an herb there, and I was thinking about using it, but I actually use it on the way back. Now, we want to pick up this flamethrower right here. We want to come over here, and there's just a boulder. We want to turn the other way and run, and then enter this cubby and enter where we just came from. That way we don't get run over by a frickin' boulder. And that opens up a door, and this is our third boss fight. But then again, this boss fight is actually optional. This is Black Tiger. She's a big spooter. So what we want to do is that we want to use the flamethrower to get rid of the cobwebs in front of this door. Or not cobwebs, just webs. What you do is that you just want to like use it a little bit. And then you just want to like... You want to kind of like have like Black Tiger turn around. Like just keep having Black Tiger turn around in place while every time you loop around her just burn the webs off. And then you can just get through here without having to fight her. Now there is a blue herb right here. Finally. So I'm going to use that to get my running speed back. Also unequip the flamethrower. Come over to this little mechanism here and it'll ask us to set the flamethrower. We say yes. And the door right here unlocks. So now we want to use the red crank to rotate this part of the cave in front of us until the opening is facing to the left. But just run forward into the area right in front of you and you'll avoid the boulder. Now there is a first aid spray behind where that boulder was in a emergency supply kit. So if you need a first aid spray, then go ahead and grab that. Now we have a bit of a puzzle in this room. The first thing we want to do is we want to push this statue that's up against the wall in front of this this rectangular cutout area. Use the crank right here, and then the wall just pushes the statue out, so we can now push it in more directions. So I want to push it to line it up with this little platform in the center. Now I end up fucking up here a lot because the camera angle is just like screwing with me. Then I decided to switch to tank, like just start using tank controls. And that way I can keep myself like in a solid place without getting lost as to what I am. Now we need to rotate this stone statue twice. So once you push it into the center thing and it rotates, just push it out and then push it back in again. And then push it off entirely. And then we just want to go ahead and slide it into the hole that's right here on the right. And upon doing so, we get a cylinder. So we want to take this cylinder all the way back to the room right before we met Enrico. Go ahead and take the flamethrower because we need it to go back. Run past Black Tiger. She's got nothing to do with us right now. Now, there are hunters in this room now, so you want to be careful. Just go ahead and examine the mechanism, put the flamethrower up, and just go straight into the door. Now, this is where I use the herb, because I know there were some slight effects from the poison that definitely had affected my health prior. Ooh. So yeah, now we want to head back this way. Mind the hunters. That guy just nicked me, sadly. He didn't, like, jump attack and swipe me, though. Thank goodness. And now this is the room where we want to be. We want to come over here to this small little power source control panel and grab this shaft. Now we want to combine the cylinder with the shaft. I'm checking it to see what the code is. The code is 4231. So we're going to put in 4231. And just like that, power has been restored. So now we want to take the this elevator down. Okay. And so now we have a bit of a returning enemy coming up here, and that's going to be Lisa. Now, I come up here. When I get to the intersections right here, I walk to the left until the camera changes, so I spawn Lisa on that side. That way I can just come over here without worry, because we need to head into this door here in order to get out of this place. Or rather, to move the item and then get the item to get out of this place. So we want to push this box onto this this lift here, this little cargo carrier, whatever it is. Now I put it on there correctly, but one time it was just saying that it's not on there correctly, so I had to reset the room. So if you're not, so like if it doesn't start up for you, and even though it's clearly on this little freight train, then I get the feeling that was might be a bit of like a bug or something. But just get it like on there like really good and you'll be fine. Walking the camera down this way, I'm actually gambling trying to pick up these 2 herbs. But Lisa still hits me. But I still managed to keep myself at fine. So now we want to head back to the room we came down on the elevator. Also, it's like 4 in the morning when I'm post-commentating this, because I want to get this done. So we want to come over here and then come down this ladder. And as you can see, our little box got carried over here. So we want to push this all the way to the left. And then we want to push it over the edge that's to our right. Just right here. And then we want to activate the garbage compactor. It gets crushed, it comes back up. And it looks like there's another flamethrower in here. But nope, this is actually a broken flamethrower. With the broken flamethrower, we can now get out of this place. So we want to head back to the hallway where Lisa is. Now, I kind of messed up on my enemy placement on trying to place Lisa here. I spawned her on the left. That way I can come over here and hit this switch that's on the right. And once we hit that switch, we got to go past where Lisa was. And set the broken flamethrower into the mechanism. But if you're not quick enough, then it just locks back. I think Lisa actually moves the lever back down when she comes across it. So that's something you have to keep in mind. So I'm going to push it again, and I'm going to try it again. Lisa gets a hit in on me there. But then again, I feel like that's better than letting her cock block me again. Putting the broken flamethrower on that mechanism unlocks this door for us. And unlocking this door, we're introduced to a interesting place. Now, don't stop running because there are snakes coming after you. Alright, we get ourselves a jewelry box. Now, once you climb up this ladder right here, if you take a right, there's actually a green and blue herb on the ground right there in case you need any healing right now. And look at that. This takes us all the way back to Lisa's shed. That's just right outside. So now I'm going to put up the red crank. Because we are done with cranks. We're not going to be using cranks anymore. So now it's time to head back to the mansion. Because all the pieces are now in place. What's interesting, though, is that when you come back to this graveyard here, there's actually zombies instead of crows. But if you hug the right wall, then none of them can get you. Alright. We're just about done. Okay. Now, of course, right before we go to the mansion, we want to pick up the stone and metal object we placed to be able to go in here. Forever done with that place. Yeah, the hunter's right there. He freaking nicked me. Again. Hunters be nicking me with their claws. Okay. So now we want to go into this. The main safe room, so to speak. Now I want to take the stone metal, the metal object. We're going to examine the jewelry box. And inside is a stone ring. So if we combine the stone ring with the stone metal object, we now have a... Well, with the metal object, now we have a stone and metal object. I'm going to grab the magnum, grab the Mo disc. And now we're going to head back to the main hall, which the quickest way is just this way. Or the safest route, rather. I feel like my routing for this game is more safe rather than fast. But I feel like it's safe enough to where if you're just fast enough at it, then it's not going to be that much of a problem. Alright. And so now we want to go behind the stairs. And there is a door here. We want to use both stone and metal objects on them. And that unlocks the door. Now, since I went ahead and used the stone metal objects, I can go back to the second... item box that we used in the serum room and go pick up the wolf and eagle medal. Make sure you're quick so the Crimson Head in here doesn't catch you. Trying to bait this guy. I managed to do it at like the last second. Okay. Now, I stopped right here because I forgot that the hunters were in this room. I quickly moved there because hunters have an instant kill move. You want to be careful of that. Now, there are 2 hunters in this room. I'm kind of waiting for him to show up. But then he just, like, jumps at me on screen like a little bitch. Alright. That probably was not the best encounter with hunters that I've ever had. But at least I didn't get insta-killed or something. Alright, come in here, grab the wolf and eagle medal, and now we're set up to finish. So basically, about to go into the final area after using both stone and metal objects. I have my assault shotgun, shotgun ammo, the wolf medal, the eagle medal, the magnum, and the Mo disc. So now back to the main entrance hall. And now we're heading back behind the stairs. Wonder what's on the other side of this door. The 2 emblems fit neatly. Open it? Yes. Alright, so let's go down the stairs. Now, this is pretty much a straight path. Alright, now here's a ladder. And now we're coming up to our next boss.
You're a bit of a mess up. Chris, take a piece of the action.
Alright, so now we're dealing with Lisa. In order to win this fight, we have to push all 4 of these stone objects off the edge. You want to be very, very, very careful, though. Because if Lisa hits you when you're close to the edge, she can knock you off and you die instantly. Now here I stay right here to try and get her to jump to the other side. Which she does. So now I'm pushing this and thinking, please God, please God, please God. Yes. Because once you push that 4th one off, then you're done. Alright. And also, Wesker got knocked off, but yeah, he'll be fine. Okay, so going through all of that, we're finally here at this big fountain. We want to come over here to the left side and use the wolf metal. And now we want to go on the other side and use the eagle metal. And look at that. It's a secret entrance. So we go down these stairs here, we get on this elevator, and we are now in the final area of the game. The lab. Luckily, this place doesn't take as long, so hopefully we'll get through this pretty quick. First order of business, gonna put the Magnum up in this item box here. So now we're in the lab. Got some zombies in this room, just gonna easily juke them. They're pretty easy to juke. We want to head downstairs first. And now, we want to come this way. We want to kill this zombie, so I'm going to use a flashbang. That way I blow his head off. We want to go in these double doors right here. And if we come over here to this back area, there's another flash grenade for us to get. So we're going to access the computer right here to access more areas. Now the user login is John, and the password is Ada, A-D-A. So we want to unlock the B2 floor. The password is Cell, C-E-L-L. You figure out that passcode with a puzzle involving X-rays in a room on this floor. We're going to unlock B3F. And we're good. And now, we want to head back upstairs. Go ahead and dodge some zombies first off. I'm going to grab this herb. There's a zombie right there. I'm going to use the herb to make space. There's a number pad right here. The code is always 8462. You solve the puzzle for that. There's also a Mo disc right here. Going to pick that up. You solve the puzzle for that by going to the B3 floor and picking up some red microfilm images and then put them in the projector in here and it'll tell you the code. But yeah, we picked up a laboratory key. Also right here there's another Mo disc. Now you should have all 3 Mo discs at this point. We need all 3 Mo discs to get the best ending. So the first order of business is to use up the laboratory key to make space. So we're going to unlock this door right here and unlock the door right here. Get rid of the key. And we're going to go in the door we just unlocked. Okay. we want to push this shelf. Push it all the way up against the wall. Nets us some more shotgun shells. We want to climb up here and climb in this vent. Then we want to head up here. Climb into this vent. Drop down. And there's a terminal right here. We want to use a Mo disc. Transmitting the passcode seems to have locked something. Now, if you try to push this shelf right here, a chimera is going to come out of the vent, and we're going to kill it. It only takes 2 assault shotgun shells, or just 2 shotgun shells, I believe. The reason why I kill him is because you can never push this out of the way in time before he hits you. At least that's what's happened to me. So we used Mo disc number 1. Coming down this hallway. We want to kill this zombie too. We want to come into these double doors here. This takes us to what seemingly looks like a powering area. There's another chimera here. We need to kill this chimera. And if we check this, it says, warning, fuel may explode if shaken or jarred. There's no fuel, and there's an empty capsule. So we're going to take the fuel supply capsule. So now we're going to head back to the rectangular area that connects all the parts of the lab. Go up this way, and we want to go into this door right here, which we haven't gone through yet. There is an emergency first aid kit here. I'm actually going to use this, because why not? Well, maybe I don't use it yet. Alright, there's a zombie in here, gonna kill him. I do another double tap shot to make sure he's dead. Now we come right here, there's another little box for a Mo disc. Gonna slide that in. So now we have only one more Mo disc to put up. Yeah, if you check this little seal door right here, we use this to refuel the fuel capsule. You got the fuel supply capsule. Main ingredient of the fuel appears to be nitrogen compound. Running can result in a fatal explosion. So yeah, we're basically gonna walk all the way back to where we got this thing. Because if you try running, then you're going to get a game over, because the item you're carrying will explode. Just a leisurely stroll through the lab, just holding on to some fucking nitro. You know, that's the norm. Fuck, if they had to do that to refuel the supply for this every time, then I feel like they would have to evacuate everybody out of the lab every time someone tries to come through here. That way it doesn't bump into anybody. Like, oh, I bumped into you. Just dead. Everybody's dead. Now, when you get to the Room of Truth, as you're going to, like, put this thing up, you'll hear sounds in the background. those aren't actually coming from this room. Those are actually enemies in the room right next to this one. So you're safe. So examine this, we put the capsule back into place, and we can run again. Yay. So now we want to come back this way. We want to go into this door here. We're going to have chimeras chasing us, but their attack patterns are a little bit, like, delayed, and they're kind of slow. So you can pretty much avoid them with no worry. And right here's another little console box that looks nothing like a GameCube. And we put the final Mo disc in here. So now the only thing we have left to do... There's also a flash grenade on the ground right there if you want it. But I'm not going to grab it because I don't need it. Coming all the way this way. Go around this area counterclockwise. That way the chimeras don't mess with you. So we want to start up the console here. Now this place has power. Just keep going this direction and go out the door. Now we want to head back to the T-shaped hallway that we took to get over here. And it's pretty much smooth sailing at this point. Well, kind of. We just want to head straight. But first I'm going to come into this room. I'm going to grab the first aid spray. And the shotgun shells on the ground. Because now we're coming up to the second to last boss fight of the game. Assuming if you're getting the best ending.
Chris!
The elevator is working.
Rebecca!
I saw you in the inner garden. I finally caught up.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. No more following. Just stay with me, kid.
That's my plan, sir.
Okay, so before you go into this door, make sure you equip your shotgun.
Wesker.
So you've come. Chris, you make me proud. But of course you are one of my men.
Thanks. Since when, Wesker?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Since when have they been slipping you a paycheck?
I think you're a bit confused. I've always been with Umbrella. And stars were Umbrella's... No, rather, my little piggies. The Tyrant virus leaked, polluting this whole place, and unfortunately, I had to give up my lovely members of Stars.
You killed them with your own dirty hands! You son of a bitch!
No.
Oh yes, dear. Just like this.
Rebecca!
Don't move!
You...
I don't think you want to die just yet. I have something that's of some interest to you. The ultimate life form. Tyrant.
Wesker, you've become senile.
Chris, you'll never understand. It's magnificent.
Come on, you test tube freak.
Alright, so now we're fighting Tyrant. Now, the way to fight him is to basically bring him around, circling this area. You do kind of have to make some blind shots if you want to play it safe. Without auto-aim, I'm not used to trying to get the aiming correct. And he's done. Come over here and release the emergency lock. Let's go ahead and check up on Rebecca.
Rebecca!
Chris.
It's a good thing you were wearing your bulletproof vest. There's nothing left for us to do here. Let's get moving.
Okay.
Alright. So now, let's get out of here. It's time for us to leave and finish this game.
Chris?
What is it?
I found a file in the lab. Apparently, there's still a lot of Tyrant virus here. We should blow this whole place up.
Right. The show must go on. I'll leave that up to you, Rebecca.
I'm on it. I'll start the self-destruct system I found a little while ago.
It's not like we're out of this yet. I'll see you on the outside.
Outside.
Okay, so now we have one more place we need to stop by. But, at the same time...
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks.
Alright, so let's head back to the hallway that took us to the nitro refueling room. And if you noticed at the end of the hallway, there were levers. These are what the Mo discs were for. So we're going to release all three of these locks. And in doing so, the door opens.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing.
And also, upon doing so, while the self-destruct is active, unlocks this door.
All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks.
Jill?
Chris!
You're okay.
Chris, it's Wesker. He...
I know. But first, let's get out of here.
Alright, so now we need to head back to the lab entrance. You can go back into Jill's room to find more shotgun shells if you need to, but I don't need any more. I've got plenty.
Let's get going!
All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks.
So let's head back up these stairs and juke some zombies.
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivate
And now we're home free.
all locks.
Want to go ahead and pick back up the Magnum
All personnel
on our way back up.
deactivating and releasing all locks.
And this door right here is open.
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate.
This is Brad.
Let's make our way through the hall.
Fuel. This is your last chance. If there's anyone alive, give me a sign. I repeat, this is your last chance.
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate
Now there is an item we need to pick up right here.
and releasing all locks.
The fuse unit. And we want to put it in right here. That way we can use the elevator.
Self-destruct system has been activated. 3 minutes to detonation.
The self-destruct system's activated.
Good work. Brad's up in the helicopter.
Those things are coming.
I'll take care of them.
But,
Chris, you just get in contact with Brad somehow.
okay.
So here we go. 3 minutes to detonation. So now we're at the heliport. Want to go ahead and pick up these signal rockets. Want to equip the Magnum and use the signal rockets.
Chris!
You okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so here's the final fight with Tyrant. Wait until Tyrant picks up Rebecca and then unload all of your Magnum shots in him. Then after the sixth shot, switch to your shotgun. Now, whenever Tyrant, stops and is about to charge at you, run to Tyrant's right. That way the claw will never hit you. Here we go again, run to his right. Don't get hit by that attack, because that attack hurts like hell. He's gonna do it again. Reloading my shotgun because I wasn't paying
Chris,
attention.
Use it. Kill it. Whatever it is.
And Brad was nice enough to drop us a rocket launcher. Now, since Tyrant has a shit ton of life left, it's going to take 2 rockets to kill him. Rocket number 1. And game over. And that's the end of Resident Evil Remake. So, now we just have the credits and then the results screen. I'm not going to be sticking around for the results screen, but I did manage to clear it in under 3 hours with no saves, with Chris Redfield on real survival difficulty. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I did doing it. It feels nice to do something that challenges me like this. But for me, that's going to be it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the credits and the results, and I will see you guys on the next video. Till then, see you then. Thank you for watching.
Chris, you did a fine job.